Alright, YouTube, what is going on, guys? David Hammond, not beautiful Mother Nature. We are in, I know it kind of looks like Europe actually right now. Some of you guys may know this, we're in, what is this place called?
Pickering Village.
Pickering Village, okay, so it's a little area. You guys can see, this is literally it. Overcast, moody, we have Jesse, what's up? Say what's up?
What's up?
And what we're doing today, guys, is boring location photography. So literally just taking locations just like this, which really are not too crazy. Like, take a look. Right? This is it, guys. It's not too crazy. It's an overcast day, kind of gloomy, kind of boring, and we're gonna take portraits and photos to show you guys that you can shoot photos ideally anywhere. Boring place, it doesn't matter. So we're gonna show you, let's get a B-roll clip, then put the GoPro on, all the tips and tricks. With that said, let's get it going. Alright guys, back here with another voiceover with the GoPro on ahead. So the first thing is we are setting up shots for Jesse and then I. The first thing we're doing, guys, is we're actually doing a loop. That's generally what I like to try to do. So if you notice with the video, we started in this alleyway right here and then we made a loop all back around. So we're doing the exact same thing with photos. Now with this, guys, I put on the 50mm. Now if you notice for portraits, shots that I do, I use two main lenses, okay? I use a 50mm, which is equivalent to 80mm on my camera, and then a 24. So the 24 lens is much more of a full body. You can be much closer to it. But when I have room like this with you seeing Jesse, I have room and I want more compression, more bokeh, more depth. This is when I put on the 50mm, which is equivalent to 80mm. A few reasons. One, it has a lower aperture, so instead of 2.8, like the 24, it has 1.8, and there's more compression. The tighter a lens is, guys, the more compression there's going to be, therefore the more bokeh there's going to be. So for these shots, we had a lot of bokeh for both of us, Jesse and for me. So after that, guys, again, like I said, we are using the loop. So we're now moving along this rail here. Always a key thing to look out for, guys, with any portraits or any shots are things called leading lines, okay? So you can naturally see I have this rail right here, which is going to lead the viewer's eye all the way to Jesse, okay? Also, guys, another great thing about leading lines is that it adds a natural sense of depth, okay? So there's a foreground and a background, which is just very pleasing to the eye. It's much more 3D-like opposed to being very flat and one-dimensional. So always keep that out. Keep that in mind. Depth and leading lines, okay? Now moving down here on the staircase, as you guys saw with the video, again guys, you're going to notice a similar thing with almost all my portraits. Things like depth, leading lines, maybe framing, natural things with composition, okay? So very simple here, we're actually using the railing of the stair leading to Jesse, again using depth and having a natural leading line. Surprisingly guys, you can find these leading lines really anywhere. It doesn't matter if the place may look ugly, it doesn't matter if it's beautiful, there are leading lines everywhere, guys, okay? So here's another perfect example. I'm asking Jesse, can you sit down right there? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to frame. You can use many different compositional techniques here, okay? So I'm just looking, you know, where can I shoot? What can I shoot through? And I see this railing here, right? But if you guys take a look, I'm actually shooting through the railing, okay? So I'm using many things here. We're using depth, leading lines, and framing. These are things that you can naturally find wherever you are, and that's why I'm making this video, guys, of boring location photography, because it doesn't matter where you are, you can find compositional techniques like this to just add such a better sense of interest to any single photo, okay? And guys, the final last spot here, we're looking around, find this nice staircase, very minimal, guys, very simple. There's nothing flashy about these places, but we're relying on composition, which is, again, framing things, organizing the photo in a particular way to add this interest, okay? Because we don't have too much around us. So Jesse and I are both sitting up to the top of the stairs. Very simple, guys. We're doing some things like maybe shooting through the railings, right? Almost getting a natural frame, but it's kind of adding this like grungy, moody vibe of like maybe he's in jail or he's locked up behind something. So we both do that, both shots, very simple, getting a lot of the atmosphere around us. I think you can see things like the ice cream sign in the back, just some signs and logos in the back that actually they're very atmospheric. So what that means is they add a lot of sense of interest to where you are. Does that make sense? Opposed to just showing the photo of you. So that's it, guys. I will now see you back on the main camera so we can then move to location number 2. Hope you enjoyed this first voiceover. I will see you then. And alright guys, that was the shot with, we're gonna call this Little Europe or whatever it is. And nothing crazy, guys. It may have looked cool on video and photo, but that's because we made it that way using composition and things like depth. You heard all on the GoPro. It's really not that crazy though. Anyways though, overcast day, we're gonna head to spot or location number 2. Probably just a plaza, to be honest, nothing crazy. And yeah, so we'll see you there. And alright guys, we're now at spot number 2. We drove a little bit around, checking out, scouting out the area. That's what I always recommend to you guys. Do a little scout and then shoot. So we're in a parking lot, dumpster, garage area. Like, if this isn't a boring or ugly location, then I honestly don't know what it is. But no complaints, guys. We're gonna make this work. I'm not gonna get hit by the car. We're gonna make it work. Get the GoPro back on my head, take you guys through it, and get some dope stuff. So, GoPro, let's go. And alright guys, back with the voiceover here for round 2. We are now in this parking lot, just like I told you guys, and it's actually the back of the parking lot, so there really is not too much going on here. So of course, Jesse and I are first looking, we're scouting out the area, I think we're both seeing some spots, and I'm saying, boom, can you sit down right on that thing? I'm going to use natural. Again guys, you're going to notice a lot of similarities with my photos, okay? It's nothing crazy. Depth, leading lines, just a natural sense of depth, really. So I'm putting on, I believe, the 50mm lens, which I said, guys, is going to add more compression, more bokeh, and bokeh's that blurry background, which we want. And here's the crazy part, guys. Sometimes you may not even want bokeh in the background. Sometimes you may want it in the foreground, okay? So that's exactly what we're doing here. We're using one of these, what do you call these, stone block looking railing things as the foreground out of focus, okay? Which is making Jesse then in focus, all right? Just something to keep in mind. Doesn't always have to be the background out of focus. So after that, guys, we were moving around. We're thinking, what looks good? Again, I'm seeing this railing. I'm seeing a leading line. Very natural. It's looking good there. Getting some shots of Jesse. I'm basically saying like, yo, back up. Because you don't want them to be too close. You know, you always want to show a bit of the atmosphere, where you're at, what's going on around you. You know, that's what sets the mood together. Yes, the person, but also where they're at. So I'm changing it up. I'm going through this and I'm going to say, you know what? Maybe let's try above here. Let's try things like this, using more leading lines, framing. Framing, guys, very simple, is when you are using the inanimate object, poles, railings, whatever it is, to frame the subjects, right? So the next thing, guys, we're checking around here. I'm looking around. I'm saying, okay, you know what else do we have here? Because a lot of it is just scouting, and I'm saying, whoa, yo, come up here. I see this thing, this natural orange grate with like these railings on it. But before we do that, I see Jesse coming through there, and I say, yo, don't move. Stay there. That looks great. I want to try to get some shots where you're squeezing through there. So we then get some more shots. Again, very simple, guys, leading lines, but instead of just the railing, we're now using this orange crate looking thing to naturally frame Jesse right in the middle. Anyways, we're now in the next spot with Jesse using that orange crate, and we really, really like this, guys, because of those metal bars behind him. It added this grunge look, this very, almost like a prison look, you know what I mean? So what I'm doing is, here's a psychological trick with guys, okay? Guys or girls. You sit down lower, you shoot low, shooting the person at a very high angle, which is automatically going to make them look very superior, very dominant. Does that make sense? It's just, it's very basic common sense. And the same thing goes, guys, backwards. If you're shooting them at a low angle, it's going to make them look inferior. But we thought the grunge with the superior look would look really, really dope. So moving on, guys, after that, we're now checking out, okay, so I'm saying we've used enough of that orange crate looking vibe. Let's change it up. Let's get something else. So a lot of it, guys, is improv. Like, we don't obviously never been to this behind the parking lot before, so we're taking a look. What can we work with? We're not seeing too much. And then as I'm looking, I say, yo, do you see that right in the background? So what it was very simple, guys. It's nothing crazy, but it was a doorway with this little light. Okay, so now we're walking towards it. This gets me very excited, guys, because the light was just, it was a cool tone, which added a really just cool, moody vibe, all right? So, doing that just now, getting Jesse to stand on the ledge, sit on the ledge, changing it up, but I really wanted to show this light emanating down, okay? Like, it's downlighting him. Really just setting this mood, because it was the only light there. Like, obviously, you know, lights come on when it's dark out, and therefore this was the only one up. So changing up, guys, sitting down, standing up, getting frames of him, and it was really that simple, very clean. So guys, that is it for this second voiceover. I hope you guys enjoyed the information here. I hope you enjoyed the shots. With that said, guys, I will see you back on the main camera so we can get this outro going, and until then, I will see you then. And alright guys, end of the video, end of the day. Really hope you guys dig this whole boring location photography. I plan to do many more in the future, and the reason it inspired me so much to do it is because whenever I go shooting, whether portraits of me or other people, the place I live in, or I feel like most of you guys live in, isn't the most crazy looking place, and I don't want that to discourage you or ever have you feeling like you can't shoot, because that's total BS. You can shoot with almost anything, anywhere, you just have to understand how, so I hope this video kind of explained a bit more in that. With that said guys, if you guys did dig it, give it a thumbs up, subscribe if new. All videos on outdoor photography, videography, my lifestyle, and a little plug here guys. If any of you guys are interested in taking those photography skills to another level, I have an outdoor photography course, always linked below or in the card after this. I'll overlay the little like website b-roll of it, and yeah, it's very simple guys. It's a video course just like you guys see here, and it's an hour long, and it goes much more to depth explaining everything like this, but of course more detail. So that's it guys, thank you so much for watching. If you guys did dig it, again, thumbs up. Until then, I will see you on the next one. Much love, peace.